Hey there, my friends, welcome! I hope you have heard about all the news that has been going on in Noita community recently. If you've not caught up with Fury Forge videos, the first and second one, where he's been sent a few emails. Firstly, he got sent one email on, I think, the 3rd of January, I think, where someone contacted him about the Eye Secret, one of the last remaining mysteries in the Noita community. Now, if you've caught up with
I hear that, renegade.
his most recent video, you'll notice he's got 2 more from someone who's called themselves Hidden Secret, aka HS. Today, we'll be going through every email, not only Fury's emails, because Hidden Secret has also been contacting several other people. Many more people, in fact, with lots of more informations that we're going to go all through today. All the little details, get all the information to you. So just in case you don't, partake in group activity, either in the Eye Discord over on the Noita Discord, or just in chat or anything like that, you can ruminate on all what Hidden Secret has to say. So I welcome you to this video. We have stream here. Chat is just over there. But thank you, Frick. I appreciate the follow. Hope you're all having a good day. Right then, let's get into the news. Every time I say that, it's just, oh, what's his name? Oh, I don't even care to remember his name. I don't like him anyway. The bearded man. Yeah, I'm not even gonna think of it. So I need to sort out my scene. Right. Noita emails from AKA Hidden Secret. Hopefully it's not an elaborate phishing scam. A lot of the skeptical people in the Noita Discord, because at one point, since HS, which is what we'll be calling them from now on, said, and has been contacting other people, people have just been putting their emails in the Noita Discord, so it's kind of fueled the fire of the skeptics, thinking it was just a way to generate emails for something. Again, when it comes... Oh, I'm sparkly. For the, for something. Or something a little down the line. But as it says right here, this document contains weird emails from Hidden Secret. And they never did see them again. And you can make any suggestions, comments, contact me via Discord, if there are any updates in Discord. You can access this through the Google Docs. You can go on the Noita Discord, go into, I think, any of the sections, ping one of the moderators and say you want access to the I part of the Discord, and you'll be able to start chatting in there also. If you go to the pinned comment, you'll be able to see the links to this. I'll post it in the description of this video as well. So whether you want to go in the I Discord or not, you'll be able to find it. However, the known things, the most important things, which we'll go through first, and some of these might make more sense later, and some of these things might go just completely over my head also, like the first one. The first one is a seed number that was given in one of the emails, which we'll get. It's from the Fury email, the 2nd or 3rd one, I believe. Apparently is Unix time for the Thursday, October 15th, 2020. 11:37:54 GMT 000. The release date of 1.0. So the first time the eyes were implemented was the very start of 1.0. Well, I thought it was a seed number. But if it's just the time, then that makes a hell of a lot of sense, since the eyes and the final secret was implemented in 1.0. Even though I thought the eyes were always there from the very first early access version. Obviously, I was wrong. Change to reading mode from suggestion mode. Good point. How do I do that? Anybody got me? Keep. Calendar. Contacts. Maps. Suggestion mode. Thank you very much. Viewing. Okay. Will viewing mode do? It seems to be alright. Hey, it's zoomed in a little bit as well. Very nice. But anyone on YouTube, sorry for the ad hoc way this is all going down. It's the way it's gotta be, though. Move the chat box from right so it won't hide the text. Very good point, thank you. Nyam. Right. Now we've got all the little details sorted. No curses from other people. Yeah, it's the one thing I really disliked about Google Docs when I was watching over it. Just all these little things going around. So thank you, chat, for, you know, sorting me out with that. Appreciate it. Right then. So in the very first Fury email, some of this Fury, if you've watched the videos he came out with before, where this string of gibberish was in the very first email. And if you remove the second, you know, every other letter, it ends up saying, and you never saw them again. Not sure really what that means, apart from the fact, I think their intention was to never really repeat themselves, but since it is probably a human person, the tendency to, when you start talking about something and it's this big, just to kind of keep on rolling with the punches and more people get the email, you know, and just the ball keeps rolling and you talk about it more, and because it's really interesting to you, you just keep on talking about it. Or it involves one of the actual, you know, things we do throughout the run to reveal a secret. No idea, but we definitely got to keep it in mind. Yeah, I think we should ignore that one. Fury is probably going to release a video that's already been released. Fury has 5 eyes. Ah, I think the pink is actually HS themselves writing in this Google Doc to clarify certain issues. Not eyes, promises. Yeah, the 5 eyes were 5 questions that Fury was allowed to ask, or 5 other people that were given secrets that they could later reveal after a certain amount of time when they all came together, if no one ended up solving it in that time. Hidden the secret email, all-seeing eyes of the east and the west at gmail.com. Feel free to ask her questions. You have. I asked my own personal question, but we'll get to that later. It's in this Google Doc, so it was just clarifying a more community aspect to the whole deal, but we'll get to it. There is a solution, and it was found. Working on a cipher. You have all the hints. Hence why we're showing all this today, because apparently everything you need to know is within this Google Doc. So pay attention, you know. It was brought up a long time ago and shrugged off, involving 3D space. So it's one of the biggest kind of elephants in the room when it came to, you know, real talk here. The Noita Eye section of the Discord. Where the problem is, especially with something that was such a complex secret, they kind of got into their own methods of doing things, and it kind of became a bit of an echo chamber of sorts, and they got a bit of a reputation for that. I've discussed it with people as well, and I've never personally been a part of it until today and yesterday. Mainly because it's probably moved beyond the echo chamber, when we've got a third party actually presenting new information that has changed the dynamic entirely of the Eye Discord. The hidden section of the Noita Discord. It's not really hidden. I think you can always access it. I just don't think you can always type in it. Would be funny if it was a scam. I don't see why. I really don't see why it would be a scam. Regardless if it's a scam or not, it's super interesting. The amount of hype and interest it's got within Noita, there's no complaints from my end, regardless of what it is. But the problem of being shrugged off and not being able to get the help and support from the main core of the community, it has been a problem. This has to be acknowledged and understood, you know? Because it's something we need to, you know, work together and move on forward in the future, so. They are trigrams. Now, I've openly mocked everything about trigrams, and I'm not the only one. And I'm somewhat disappointed to hear that in some way trigrams are involved, you know? Because I've bashed them so heavily. And, you know, I thought trigrams were literally a red herring distraction. Like, it's set up to look like a trigram, to throw you off, to make an echo chamber, so the secret lasted longer. However, trigrams were allegedly done in such a way that no one ever thought of apart from HS has done in the past few days. Actually, apparently they've known for about a month, I think, and just been waiting to actually get into it and find the right way of actually presenting this. I think the eyes are just a guide to how to use the cauldron, and devs think it is too specific for us to just guess. That's why they said to ignore the cauldron for now, and why the email called it a pathway, not a message. We will get to it a bit further down, but it does say in the first Fury email that the eyes and the cauldron don't really to go... Like, it says basically ignore the cauldron. The void has already destroyed it. Unless this is a way to activate the cauldron, like, further down the line, and you need to understand the eyes for that. It could be. There's no evidence either way, I think, that confirms either or. Greed will get you not far, but lend me your curiosity, and I will relieve any worries. Just ask. There are 4 messages starting with, to me. Does that mean the eyes? Like, what messages? That's a little bit of a generic statement. Like, again, for... Just so you know, known things. These are known things that we went through. So, what 4 messages? 4 of the emails received start with, to me. You can Google this document. Thank you, Dabas. Right then. Sender will provide us 5 eyes, as she says. So, the way HS has set this up... Right. Let's just get the elephant in a room out of the way. A seed, a location, a method, an alteration, a birth is basically a very rudimentary way of how to build a sun, right? You get the sun seed, you take it to the pyramid location, the method, you leave it to bake at the pyramid, the alteration is you throw in a load of animals in there, they die, and then there's a birth, the sun, right? So I think they've used that process very cleverly to... Because I can't see it, you know, considering these secrets that have been sent, and four of them have been received, but the fifth one is a little bit iffy at the moment. The bearer refuses to cooperate. The person noted here is not the right one. So they seem to have a very in-depth knowledge of the game, right? Being able to utilize one of the more creative aspects of the game, one of the more creative mechanics of building a sun, to then take the methodology and creation of that sun to dissect it and use it in this context for the eye puzzle as a way of giving information out is very clever, and I like it. And it's going to be interesting to see the results when, because at some point these 5 eyes will reveal themselves to the community, and we will all have the information, and we will all be able to use that information to try and solve. That's the plan. Message from HS. Now, I've read this, and this is really what convinced me this is real, right? Hello, you don't know me, but most of you seem to recognize me as HS. I think a story is well deserved for how a feat was achieved. And just for those of you who aren't keeping up, HS has claimed, and I believe, has solved the eye puzzle and has actually achieved the thing the eye puzzle sends you to do. The either mission or the path you are meant to take to finish the game properly. Or finish the actual final secret of the game. The hidden secret, indeed. I think a story is well deserved for how a feat was achieved. A hidden achievement from us all, and words that explain hidden secrets. I fell in love with Noita and puzzles a while ago. Most of you have spoken with me in the official Discord before 1.0 released. I was fascinated with the amount of secrets hidden for players to uncover, but there was always something Nola just wouldn't share. When the eyes were found, my love for cryptography showed a lot. I became invested, but after a while, I lost a lot of motivation. It got to an unhealthy point. An unhealthy desire. I left it in the dust, thinking I'd come back. But months passed and I forgot. Then Fury announced, "We might be close." High hopes surged, and I returned, frantically scrolling through all we had. The developers hinted a lot. People overlooked them a lot. I thought there was more to it. No developer really drops hints unless they want something to be solved. It hit me like a truck. We could put the hints in order, and it referenced the story, down to the very game mechanics and effects. They each held a reference. Call it Finnish culture or ancient lore. It was there. Trigrams have always been fascinating, and it had to be that. Everything else led to a dead end. How else could one create a cipher? However, people only used one plane or two, never three. When they did, they shrugged off the dead ends like they were a mistake. They weren't. They were just off path and didn't use the hints. The efforts were not made alone. Many great minds put together. I simply offered the lead. There was not one definitive way. I always circled back to the same answer. The eyes were surprisingly not a rickroll. I say they were not messages and people confuse it for contradictions, so let me rephrase. The eyes are not a message to us. They are not meant for us. They were not meant to be found yet. They were unfinished. The final result is a heartfelt sentiment from the developers. Feel about it how you will. I will not spoil it. They were instructions for us to never follow. We sacrificed, but we never knew what for. It broke the barriers of the world we created for ourselves. And it wasn't fair. Creators were attacked and pestered. A quest left in the dark. A quest never finished. A quest we were to get when the triangle would finally swallow the egg. The implementation of the idea was given. The release of the finished worlds was already given and dealt. Alchemy was conducted and found. Void was experimented with. A bubbling brew was questioned. Never finished, because people wouldn't allow it. Humanity is disappointed. Humanity is disappointing, to say the least. Do not bite the hand that feeds. For once, I cast that aside and share findings long awaited. A dish and a scar both left. Both discarded the final results. Both finally gave up. For those unaware, I'll just interject myself here. A dish and a scar is a reference to two of the developers. Scar is... Is it Arvi? It's a Finnish translation of Arvi, even though it technically misses out a letter. But just trust me, it is a reference from two of the devs. There is nothing more left to share, unless time grows old and I just blatantly spill it. From the deepest of my heart, I thank everyone who is along for the journey. The beginning of our end nears. The results may satisfy some, and some may be left wanting more. For that, you have yourselves to blame. You pushed them away, you led them astray. They stopped, they withheld promise. You have 5 eyes, 5 parts. You have half a key. The other half has been made aware. The time is high to resolve all this. The 5th one. I know who you are. Please do not make me regret my efforts. It would be the lowest point I'd have ever had in this journey I have created for both myself and you. You, the Noita community. Never have I met anyone more invested in solving secrets left untold. Thank you for the opportunity. And I look forward for reveals. Both this one and my own. Whew! Nah, that's quite something. Not only putting people on blast, you know? Saying either, right, the community is to blame, or people who are looking for secrets are to blame for certain aspects of, you know, an unfinished resolution, shall we say. However, right, let's going back to the last paragraph here. You have 5 eyes, 5 parts. Those are 5 people. The 4 have acknowledged they've received the information HS has sent them. Basically instructions about what to do. When you put all 5 together, and 2... Right, Fury is technically 2 keys. He himself is 1 key. And there is another key he has to find, or something like that. Again, they're more detailed in the emails down below, which we'll get to. However, what it says here, the other half has been made aware. The time is high to resolve this. The 5th one, you know who you are. Please do not make me regret my efforts. It would be the lowest point. The journey created for myself and you. Right. Look how it's structured. It would be the lowest point I'd have ever had in this journey I've created for both myself and you. You, the Noita community. Is it basically saying that the 5th one is the Noita community? And this is like an extra test. Since previously, in the previous paragraph, putting the community on blast for some indiscretion, you know, in our ways of being towards this secret. The 4 other keys have been sent emails with instructions. Maybe the 5th key is within all of what we're reading. And we as a community have to finally work in such a way that resolves this. Instead of being an echo chamber for ideas that are long overdue to be put out to pasture. However, anyone out there connected with the Noita community, please check your emails and your junk folders. Please, you know, just in case it's not a more abstract key. Forever watching, waiting, less than 3. Idle curses here. Not sure what that means. Anyway, I received shit. I didn't press skip. And everybody who's joining me here on Twitch. So, I have already been through the first 3 emails. I think we can just get, like, again, I would highly advise watching Fury Forge videos. The first one and the second one he published the other day. When it came to certain things, like 8 comes around the table circle and the sun alignments meet. 8 comes around the table was pretty much a reference to further emails we're going to drop. I mean, iLord kind of clocked that one. But other things like, forget the secrets of the bubbling brew, the void is already consumed, basically meaning don't concentrate on the cauldron. You know, it's useless. The void's already taken it. Putting me on blast for doing nothing but cauldron science, you know. So, high in the sky, far to the yellow sea, deep below the bubbling lakes, to the peaceful, serene secrets of the west. Basically talking about the essences. Or at least the essence locations and diamonds or their containers. If you might be aware, the essences are in... they're not really diamonds because they have a kind of central point that makes them not diamonds. But you know what I mean, they're in a structure. Apart from Essence of Fire, which is in a kind of...
I hear that, renegade.
halved out bowl, you know? Hey, a snarf bomb. A snarf bomber, thank you for the follow, dude. Ugh. The 5th one is just a person who didn't believe in this and is jacking the ARG by not sharing. The thing is, even if we don't get the 5th one, right? With the information from Fury and the other 4, just because we're missing one bit of information, I don't see why we couldn't work around that regardless. I don't think we need it. And one of the most important messages. A message it does not contain, but a pathway. But email too. What I saw as a massive contradiction starting out there. Waste not the grains falling through the sand. They are plenty, you know? Right, if I'm not meant to waste grains, how can there be plenty of them, you know? If there's plenty of grains, I can waste them, right? You know, there's plenty of them. But the secrets will be buried with it. Kind of putting into Now, that could be talking about in-game secret or the... Right, we'll be referring to this as an ARG as well, an alternative reality game that this person has created for us all to get involved in with these emails. So it's either the secret in the game needs to be done within a certain amount of time, or the time will bury it, or this entire ARG needs to be resolved in a certain amount of time because they only have a certain amount of patience. And it goes into the fact that this number, which, as we saw before in the known things, is a time. 1.0, basically, was the implementation of an idea. It formed and burned, it was released with a crack. And a final show. Promises withheld and made. Instructions given, ignored, lost, forgotten, forgiven. Now, right. Forgotten. Does forgotten really need to be said that after ignored, lost, and forgiven? Doesn't forgotten, which is the name of a boss in Noita, isn't that a bit redundant to say? If something is lost, you've probably forgotten it as well, right? I don't know, it just... Forgotten seems to stand out a bit, though. Mainly because, again, it's the name of a boss in Noita. I'll leave that one up to you. But I really, you know, when it comes down to the second and third email, some of the more important things, one thing I really respected was, you know, because we didn't have answers up until this point, was I am not a creator, you know? The world built was not by me, nor the ideas instilled. I found them, I found a way. I watch, I understood. I really respected that because that gave us an actual resolution to, you know, whether we were getting information from a dev or not. Which is very important, contextually. But again, they didn't have to do that. They decided to out themselves in that regard. Which kind of held them up to more scrutiny, I suppose. But also made them a bit more trustworthy as well. Because they could have claimed to be a dev. They could have said nothing and let us think they could be a dev or not be a dev. But they answered the question and when they didn't have to, you know? The name of a boss and the steps in the email. Seed location method. Directly riffing off the sun seed. They definitely are, yeah. 5 piece of the key. People got all those. Seed location method. Alteration, whatever. It's not just going to be build a sun, though. Again, this is why there's definite, you know, feeling of what is written. There's a definite feeling and connection that this person knows the game inside and out. And with that, I think there is a respect and appreciation and love that comes out of these words that anyone who's cynical, are they not saying that? You know, because people who love and respect this game and love the secrets and love the kind of ideology or love the mystery of it all, they ain't gonna troll people. Again, they want answers as much as anyone else. I can't see it being, after everything that's been said so far, and again, we haven't even got through half of it yet. I just don't see it. Again, there's a lot of love in this words. Swirls of a state shimmer on your in your pointed leads. I'm not a god of language, stand and watch, old friends. The deletion of knowledge was acknowledged in turn. So this is, again, message to Fury. The deletion of knowledge was acknowledged. In turn, knowledge was shared. To what extent do we fear? What can be given can be taken away. Turn back to the whispered voices and reach right. If you won't, someone else will. Right. So I'm wondering, right, Fury deleted his save file because he made a video saying that the 34th orb, getting the 34th orb, was cheating. We cheated. The devs know we cheated. We know we cheated ourselves, you know? Ugh. And Fury made a video about it. It was acknowledged. And I'm assuming, like, to what extent do we fear? When it came to the little red orb, we feared that having it compromised our ability to get secrets. But the one thing I can't really move forward with my level of thinking on that one is, what can be given can be taken away. Is that still talking about the orb? Sorry, the necklace? Like saying, it actually doesn't matter, because the game, if it wanted to, could take it away anyway. So you don't need to worry about it, because the game would do what it wants. If it knows you're cheating, it just, you know. If you didn't earn it, it would just take it away, kind of deal, you know? Hey, Rusty, welcome to the chat, dude. I think the knowledge shared is the intro video. It's only revealed on a fresh file, but I'm probably wrong. You know, yeah, I mean, that's, well, it says the deletion of knowledge was acknowledged. That's definitely going into how we delete the save file. In turn, knowledge was shared. You're right, the actual sentence kind of ends there for this one. So, in turn, knowledge was shared could be an entirely new discussion, right? It doesn't start a new line, but the way it's... yeah, the way it's worded, it could start an entirely new, you know, meaning. But to what extent do we fear? I suppose there is a fear that it never gets solved and never gets resolved. Hence, we take extreme measures like deleting our save file, and we accidentally are right, because, as you'll see later, there's a lot of, well, I think they basically just come out and say it. You need to have a fresh save file, which isn't a new concept. The concept of running a fresh save file has been going around for years. I'm sparkling? I am. I just, I'm wearing my void coat today. You know, in celebration of secrets. Hey, Brotato. No. Brotato? Sorry. I should actually enunciate and actually, you know, announce things right. Rotaro. Welcome to the chat, dude. I got there eventually. Sorry, so many thoughts going through my mind. Reading these things was a problem. I've been awake for... well, I've had an hour's sleep in about 30 hours. Considering all this information dropped, and the information just kept on coming, you will excuse me, especially those watching on YouTube, of my aloofness and my flighty mind. It's going places. But again, going back to the essences: high sea, high sky, yellow sea, bubbling nethers, and the serene lake. It's missing out the essence of spirits, which the essence of spirits does have a diamond, right? So if the diamonds were important, it's the one thing about Fury's video at the very start. He shows a diamond and says the diamond might be important, but then he never references it again, right? So spirits has a diamond. It's not mentioned. Aren't there 8 diamonds or something like that? Or aren't there a specific number of diamonds that made it intriguing because of what was said in the emails? But if the spirits were never mentioned, are we looking in the right place? Let light shine, paths unfold. So again, let light shine, one thing, build a sun. I mean, there's probably a few ways of metaphorically letting light shine. If you look at a map of the world, like, if you look at it really kind of abstractly and just kind of really pay attention, you can notice, like, in the brown rock, there's kind of rays of light all across the world. From the center of the mountain, looking down, there's kind of rays emanating across the world. That's a bit abstract, you know? And that's already in the game. Some think going perkless is the way. It could be a lot of things. No editing with... I won't say the T word, you know, ever since... Right, edit ones everywhere used to be edit ones everywhere until they changed it to that. I still refuse to this day. It's always editing to me. No editing with reality in its creation. I mean, that could involve so many individual things. The thing is, what are we going to have to be afraid of our own shadow, you know? Like, how far does this go? Now, the one that's going to cause you headaches and sleepless nights. Alright, triangles and beams forever unfold, a lost soul hides. There's quite a lot in that. Meditation cube. Number 1. The infinite power plant technically has beams and triangles. Forever unfolds, right? It goes down forever. The infinite power plant is to the left of Hell. If you look on a Noita map and just look at the left of Hell, you'll see an infinite power plant that goes forever. Like triangles and beams, if you go to a meditation cube and meditate, you can actually get to the meditation cube, even if the meditation cube in a box, even if there's no meditation cube, I think it's always loaded into the world. I think there always is one. You'll notice that triangles, like the 3D triangles and beams and light beams, yeah, that kind of, you know, unfold and skip around and go around. Also, the Wicker Man has a few triangles on him. I don't know about beams forever unfold, now that I really think about it. Now, the reason I thought it might be Wicker Man is it's a conspiracy that the Wicker Man holds something. And this line of thought has gone on for so long, it's basically imprinted in my mind that, you know, I can't get it out of my head, no matter how hard I try. So a lot of theories I just go to Wicker Man, you know? You know, a conspiracy that there's a hidden boss at the Wicker Man. And that's been around as long as the Wicker Man's been around, that theory. But no editing with the reality in its creation. Again, how far are we going to take that? Pacifist, no editing on ones, no progress bar, no gold, for instance. How far will we take it? We're going to have to find out. But a path reveals. This is one key of 2. Someone else holds the other. Will not repeat. Hello to an end, or goodbye to a beginning. I hope someone understands. The outcome of the untouched, the salt holds. So, on a very basic level, if we're going to do science, we start off at the most basic and look for confirmations of progress. The worst thing would be if there is no confirmation of any progress as we go along. Because it mentions the Sampo, aka the salt, if you pick up no orbs, aka you're not editing with reality or your own mind, because in the first email it says you need a clear mind, so you could argue never take any orbs of knowledge, and then the Sampo will be the salt. Maybe, like, I think the most basic theory at the moment is pacifist, go get the Sampo. I don't know what you'd do with Colmy. Take the Sampo to the diamonds or to the essences. What I would expect to see, if we drop the Sampo down there, I'm sure there's something else that mentions a glow to the Sampo. I would expect to see the Sampo glowing more, or a confirmation of sorts, if you drop the Sampo around the essences. However, later on, and maybe already, it mentions kind of building the sun, and the sun being a part of this. Maybe? So it mentioning the essences. Alright, are we doing it with the Sampo? Are we going pacifist, get the Sampo, goes to the essences? Maybe you need to do both. Get the Sampo, go to the essences, drop the Sampo, charge it up, something like that. Pick the Sampo back up, get the essence, go to another essence, drop the sample. You know what I mean? We do need to think in very basic ways, and then move forward and look for confirmation. Only through that, until we get more information from the keys. What? The keys? Sampo into the sun. Yeah, Limbos. Well, there's a lot of information to go through, man. Email 3. Time is all we have in the end. We use it, and for what? Our celestial beliefs. I want to make this clear. I am not a creator. It's just acknowledging, you know. They had no part in making the game. They are a third party. Strokes of 2 have been made. The 2 pieces lie apart. So again, the very first line of the first email was, you know, strokes of 2. That's just referring to the 2 keys, of course.
I hear that, renegade.
The 2 keys, when it comes... Right, there's 5 keys, which are the 5 individuals who have been sent information. Then there's 2 keys. One of those is information Fury has been sent. And the second one is information Fury has to find, I think. Or something like that, from what I can gather. Anybody else got a different interpretation in chat? I don't know. Again, there's so much... This is far too much. Hey, Geo1, thank you for the follow, man. One which you... And again, this is a message to Fury. One which you already hold. Now, Fury has been using his old save file, the one with the necklace on, recently. So, the sender of the email knows Fury still has the old save file with the necklace and all his bling. And the sun up in the sky. So, the key could still be part of some of the major quests of the game. You know? Whether it's building the sun in the sky, doing something that gets you bling, or any other key you could think of in, you know, building, you know, 100% save file. Which is far too much to go through individually. Apart from just saying build the sun, go to the, you know, moon, do a void moon kind of deal with the essences. Let your voice be heard by many, call out to your missing link. Basically just saying, you know, shout out Fury, go for it. And get some information from other people, get people talking. Message sent, brush off nothing. The salt, there, here we go. The salt leads the way. It glows with promise. This is what's making me think. We pacifist run with the Sampo. Somehow, right. Actually, right. Be one with it. Taking the life of others is not sacrifice. Not without a purpose or belief. Now, what I would argue is that it's okay to kill Colmy in this instance, but because we believe it is for the better, the greater good, you know? Because we can't have him follow us. He doesn't like, he's not like a pet, you know? He won't be all happy and nice. Also, right, why is there a almost pacifist reward? That if the only thing you kill is Colmy, and you go down to the work to end the game, you can get a Colmy-shaped reward for only ever killing Colmy. Maybe a little bit of a gold kind of prize to get you thinking about only killing Colmy. Because it's necessary when you've got the Sampo, maybe, I don't know. Will Colmy follow you to... Colmy will follow you everywhere, no matter where you are. However, I'm pretty sure there may be a way to get Colmy stuck. Maybe. Also, I think Colmy digs. Saying that, does Colmy always dig, no matter how many orbs he's got? Because I remember at some point, someone saying Colmy doesn't dig under a certain amount of orbs. I'm sure he always follows you, no matter what. Hence why we either have to put up with Colmy or kill him. Right. The thing is, we can do both. It's not the most difficult to do a pacifist run to get down to the salt. Right? Just saying. I mean, people can do it, that is what I'm saying, right? It's not going to be too difficult to have a divergent path. One person, or the same person, pick the Sampo up, kill Call Me. Go to the essences, see if there is a glow. Like, if there is a glow with promise, right? I think we really need to pay attention to the salt. Drop it on the ground. Notice any glow change. You know, see if there's any potential. It may only glow if you are pacifist, right? So, think about it. It could be so easy to cut off the Sampo actually giving you positive feedback. You must remain pure. Must remain pure. But again, I mean, it does have the caveat, not without a purpose or belief. Right. The one thing you could argue, it's better not to kill Call Me, because killing him is not likely to be the answer, right? Killing Call Me is always entirely going to be a negative. It could be neutral, but killing Call Me is never going to be positive, right, for this. If you are meant to remain pure, killing Call Me is never going to be positive, if you can pacifist. So, the answer probably is to just be pacifist and try and get away with it. Because otherwise, you're putting yourself at risk by killing him, when you don't need to take the risk to remain pacifist. You follow? I mean, maybe positive. It does say without purpose. It does. However, it does say you must remain pure. Must remain pure. Must. Gotta, you know, you gotta do it. Taking the others on... Oh, I've already read that. There are 5 question sections in the partnership. 5 people who have received information, basically. You find yourself at a rock face, and don't despair. So, find yourself at a rock face. If you go to the island, you will find yourself at a rock face. That's probably... Oh, no. Finding yourself at a rock face. Essence of Earth. So the first destination, because the first thing that has been mentioned after grabbing the salt, you find yourself at a rock face. Technically, it could be the island, but most likely it's going to be the Essence of Earth. Which is going to be annoying, because you're going to be pacifist, you've probably got no perks, and you're going to be hurting yourself with the Essence of Earth. And, do not despair. Well, I'm going to be probably killing myself quite hard there. There is no shame in reaching out the whispers carried through the wind. Ask. I'm going to have to at least have a teleport wand that I'm not touching the floor with. Piercing home, bring a wisp. Process what you need. I go nowhere. An ending draws near. A forgotten scene remembered. That's got to be the cutscene at the very start of the game. I don't see how it's related. Can't figure that one out yet. Anyone got any interesting ideas about the ending draws near, a forgotten scene remembered, that isn't the initial cutscene at the start of the game? Anybody? I figured that was just a throwaway line saying, feel free to ask questions if you're stuck. It is. That's why I just skipped it myself. The Pyramid Pixel. The end of everything. Oh, does the essence count as a perk? Essences are not perks. As far as Priskip has made me aware. And Priskip has taught me a lot. Again, a lot of my knowledge comes from our man Priskip in chat right now. Again, streamer in his own right. I highly recommend you listen out for his knowledge on any subject related to Noita right now, you know? When it comes to the deeper mysteries of everything in the game, he stands at, you know...
I hear that, renegade.
He stands in a very high regard, you know? Not only for myself and what I've learned from him, but from a lot of other people as well. Hey, Languana, thank you very much for that follow. So keep it as, you know, paid to the ground. He's got his own Twitch channel also. Go drop him a follow. You can click his name in chat right now. If you're on YouTube, Priskip, remind me to put your Twitch in the description, just so people have access to, you know, good sources of information if they want. Why am I thinking so much about everything and my mind is turning to jelly? Is this happening with anyone else? You're finding it hard to speak, even form coherent sentences? Now that the eyes have become, you know, more. Why there is 3 eyes at the start of the new GameStone? I think it's just a reference that 3 eyes are important in this. It's not necessarily that 3 eyes are important. It's just that why is 3 eyes referenced when you trip balls? Why does Call Me have 3 eyes? Why are 2 of the other bosses references to Call Me? You know what I mean? It's the law of 3s in this game. I don't think it has to technically mean anything greater. Maybe they planned it from the very beginning that the eyes being a trigram in a 3D environment. But it's probably putting the cart before the horse, that, you know? Five remnants of an ancient story remain in your grasp. Look forward to putting a long-awaited secret to rest. Maybe the words you seek are right in front of you, old friend. Now that annoys me because it makes me think of just going back and reading what I've already read. Over and over and over again. However, think about it. Maybe the words you seek are right in front of you. Right. This has to be the most important section of all of it, in my opinion. It's the most clear language. Salt leads the way. You know, don't sacrifice, be pure. 5 questions etched in this partnership, 5 will answer, 5 may reveal, and 5 will give. That's just saying information will come out eventually. You find yourself at a rock face. I don't think the person who sent this email wanted to go through the entire process. So they basically said, you know, be pure. The salt is the start. I'm going to send you to the place you go to after the initial pickup of the salt. And then the rest of the map, like going to the other essences, should just be routine with the Sampo. Like, you only need to be sent to the initial to kind of then see the pattern, right? Get the salt, you go to the essence of Earth, and then what are you going to do then? You're obviously going to go to the other essences. However, one of the essences is in Hell, which is going to be a real problem. Also...
I hear that, renegade.
Yeah, Flogo, thank you for the follow, dude. So, we get to the other emails from other people. You know, third parties emailing or receiving emailing from HS. I welcome you, Seeker. You're now in the deep. Your other piece still lies asleep. Poke around, ask people why. Maybe they're just clueless and shy. But I changed from the cryptic thing, old friend, like I've said before, to a few people who hold an eye. One of the clues. And a few that have reached out. This is an emotional moment for all and the community. I thank you all for playing along and helping make the reveal all that more interesting. Some people are upset, and I hear their cries. Maybe it's not fair that I make such a big deal out of it after so many other people have contributed just as much, if not more. Everyone deserves their time in the golden light, and all will be credited. Method and the location have been revealed. The eye messages are instructions, not messages, a pathway. They lead the way. 3 eyes remain open towards community. That's just basically saying, you know, some of the communication here, especially when it's going like 3 eyes, 2 eyes, 4 eyes, it's talking about communication between HS and the people who are receiving hidden information until that hidden information eventually becomes public, which is not yet. Meow. Rusty Brazenfire, thank you for the sub, man. I highly appreciate that, dude. Hey, can we get some love? Meow in chat. Hope you're doing well. Keep your eyes peeled for the other eye holders. Remember, some might already hold one, and now have claim too. Do not give out duplicates. For now, focus on finding your lost friend. Believe me, you need that other piece for this. Right. Primarily, people from the Noita Eye Discord exclusively have received emails about being one of the eye holders, people who receive the information. Like, exclusively. So, I think it's for... I think that, like, find your lost friend is basically for the eye Discord community to figure out who it was. And have they already found out who it was and they've just gone, nah, mate. You know? Can't be asked. Because at the very least, they should then forward it to someone else, really, and let them deal with it. Instead of just saying, nah, mate, you know? That's a bit of a, you know, being a bit of a spoil sport. If that is the case, thank you, Noita, for being an amazing community these past few years. I look forward to putting it all to rest soon. A salty outcome. A useless pawn. A disbeliever. There is nothing for you to find here. Your alignments are wrong. Saying that. Ah. Oh, no. That's just, there's nothing extra there. I thought there was more to be written down. Like, I thought this was, 2 bits of conversation, and 1 was missing in that. Where a link? There is nothing for you to find here. Your alignments are wrong. You see only one plane with your mind, and refuse to acknowledge the several other ones in existence. Layered curiosities live within. The only way left is not up. The beating heart of the star was not set, not formed, not made. The mind is unclear. Alterations dig deep into the lies. You weave yourself down the paths you've all set. That's a super interesting one. Your alignments are all wrong. It's talking about the eyes. How the eyes are meant to be stacked on top of each other in a 3D plane, and some sort of trigram information is meant to be pulled from that. That's not my business. I'm not here, you know, not. It's basically as plain as day. They've said it outright. That's how it's done. I'm not even, like, now that has actually been forthcoming, how has no one actually just solved the eyes, you know? How's no one been big brain and just, you know, dedicated all their mental powers to that, you know, solve it in 10 minutes? You know, we have a lot of smart people in the Noita community. Come on, you're letting us down. Just do it. Although, right, if someone did now solve the eyes, isn't it in our best interests that they actually don't reveal it and let this ARG play out instead of... Right, because if someone now reveals the eyes, this ARG dies. Instantly. And the whole thing was just bollocks. It wasn't, because... You know, it revealed the actual way of resolving the eyes, and someone put in effort to resolve them. However, Hidden Secret, aka HS, has formed this ARG so that we can all, after receiving certain sets of information, we can all run at the same time, with a few mysteries still left in, with a few, you know, holes that we need to fill in the blanks with, instead of just being told outright. If we know the eyes, we get ruined for everything. So if you do solve the eyes, I suggest you don't actually tell us at the moment and let this play out. You know? Just let the secret die already. Eh, poot. Hell no. You know? I kind of want the secret to go on and on and on, just to, you know, make more salt factory. You know, because the Sampo was thrown into the sea to create a salty sea. What we're actually doing here with Noita Secrets is we're taking the salt from the Noita, a certain section of the Noita community, and, you know,
we feel like there's some salt imbalance somewhere in the world, and we're gonna use that salt created to, you know, balance. It's a high form of alchemy. This is what the game is about all along. Farming the salt from certain ways and things are done. People are always gonna get a bit, you know, miffed at something. People always got a complaint or two. Layered curiosities lie within. Layer the eyes. Blah, 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 blah. The only way left is not up. Ha. No idea what that means. The beating heart of the star was not set. Not formed, not made. The mind is unclear is probably... If you take orbs, taking true knowledge, orbs is probably not good. It might, you know, having information might make your mind less clear. At least in HS's context. Less content in Noita if secret revealed. Not really. It depends if it solves the cauldron, right? Because I've never really been a nice guy. Cauldron might still be a... Right, because HS, as in the very first email, said, don't worry about the cauldron, you know? Cauldron, the void is destroying it. However, how do we know that the cauldron isn't completely separate from the eyes? And the cauldron can still remain as a secret? We don't know, unless there is confirmation in the eyes. HS might have just said, ignore the cauldron, because they never interacted with the cauldron within this. So you might have less content, but for me, I've never messed around with the eyes anyway, so I'm fine with it. You know, I'm a cauldron guy. Empty your cup. Alterations dig deep into the lies you weave for yourself. Yeah, alterations like tripping balls, picking up orbs. Basically, the real problem is when it says alterations, at what point in your progress bar? You know you've got perks, you know you've got enemies.
That, renegade.
Yeah, Blaine, thank you for the follow. You know, perks, enemies, spells. Of course, a pacifist run is about remaining pure, but does anything else in the progress bar create an alteration or bring an impurity? Literally says left, not remaining. The only way left is not up. Yes. I actually see that now. Thank you, Knights. Welcome to chat and fortunes. Welcome. Even if the eye puzzle is solved and shared, if it translates to a path around the world, you need to take it. As a pacifist, it'll still be difficult. Very. Again, what I'm reading and what I'm kind of envisaging in my mind's eye is still a very difficult run. Even in its most basic form. Especially if you have to do it pacifist. Especially if you have to go down to hell. Especially if you can't pick up perks, and they're a corruption also. If you have to do this in a certain amount of time as well. Like, say, against the clock, who knows? There's so many things left unknown. Maybe the cauldron is just lore. Maybe the eyes spell out what the cauldron was attempting but failed to be. Maybe. Could not say. Right then. Let's get a move on. It's already been an hour. We need to haul ass. We're not even halfway down. Fueling the answer. Not so enclosed. Your cries are heard. I listen and watch forever. Time grows larger amidst the chaos and hostile mood. Hints I give to all pieces that can be put together lest you forget them through your quarrels. Second to the back and forth to the front. Repeat with a fixed gaze. There's a few theories about that, but it's math, so I completely ignore it. It might be a way of understanding how to solve the eyes. That's the very basic way of putting it. Other than that, no idea. I'll get to the more important bits. Again, sometimes a person's sent an email. If we feel like we need the context, we'll go back to the email. A hint at the cipher. The concern is not yours. Cries have been heard. Nothing to prove if nothing believes. Eyes unlocked. Eyes open. Eyes on a different plane. Again, talking about, you know, 3D basically. Hey, mannequin. The words you seek are in front of you. Again, you seek something on a plane you don't consider. Again, the hint of Y, X, Z is basically saying look at it in a different dimension. And I think that's all that one says. Yeah. Bask in your greed and stay. You have not truly sacrificed. Your projections hold no value towards my intentions. Basically, putting that dude on blast saying, fuck off, you know? Who even are you, bro? What have you done? Yeah. No, I mean, it's more well than I would have put it. You know, more kind and within the natural language they've been using. Oh, you called me just mannequin. I like to mix it up every now and again, strange, you know? Oh, yes, excellent. Hi, Newspog. I've had my eyes on the Discord since last night. It's insane. It really is. Right, I wanted to get all this done within an hour, because this is getting posted on YouTube straight afterward. Saying that, I streamed for about 20-30 minutes, so actually, the YouTube recording's only about 40 minutes so far. Either way, it's going to go on as long as it's going to go on. We're going to get all the information that, you know, you're at least going to read it along with me, and, you know, I'm going to point out some of the more interesting bits. I'm probably going to miss a few bits as well, so I'm going to do what I can within the scope of the possibilities of my brain potential at the moment, which is not very much, considering I had 1 hour sleep and about 32, 33 hours of life. You know, had a nap before. I tried to get back asleep for another hour, thinking about eyes. It's impossible. Why wasn't he ever seen again? Question mark. Contents. I am not sure. It was hinted a while back, but many minds ignored it. Picking it up and brushing it off was a good discovery, made by my own. I cannot take all the credit, and I won't. An answer is being forged by Fury itself. As souls argue, if the idea exists, they never did speak again. What I think, they never did speak again. I think either HS or people associated with HS brought up to the Noita Discord Eyes community, the secret Discord portion, a way of solving the eyes. They were ignored. They never spoke in the Discord again because they felt isolated and ignored. This isn't a unique incident. Again, it's something the Discord just has to come to terms with and move forward and learn from it. It might have to do with that. However, it's still a relevant thing. And it's something, again, as seekers of knowledge and people looking at greater mysteries need to learn from this process the entire, 2 years, right? And kind of moving forward in their life. Be a bit more open-minded when, you know, presented with such challenges. I think it's a real eye-opener. Was that merely a reference to Final Fantasy? No idea. You usually enjoy your sleep. I know, hero. I know. Fixed gaze. It draws from the blue and the white, the crystal of light. High in the sky, you will have to take flight. Forget the worries and embrace the contribution. Sacrifice is not someone's results. Sacrifice is an idea and an ideology. It cannot be gained nor obtained, but performed. More people seek, lies spread. What will you believe? True. When it comes down to something like I'm going to speak from my own experience. My no-hit run, right? I sacrificed my time, effort, and energy to achieve something, right? For a greater goal, an end result, you know? But the result itself was not really the sacrifice. It was everything along up until the result, right? The performance. The failure. The sometimes listening to others. Yeah, no. Sometimes. Sacrifice in game terms does sound to me like purging your perks. Also that, I mean, when did the nullification chamber come in? 1.0? It definitely wasn't before 1.0. And there is the capability of taking perks and then removing them. However, what we would need to know At what moment in time do we need that level of purity? Right? Because if we're handling essences with no perks, the thing is, right, we could always heart mage, you know? However, without fire immunity, you could try for a Healthium potion. Pushskip learned an amazing thing that is going to help us amazingly. When it comes, right, we know pretty much that you have to do this on a fresh save file. AP, you know, alchemic precursor. The recipes for alchemic precursor on fresh save files are a hell of a lot easier to make than any other run. Meaning that if you have to purge all your perks or not take perks, and you don't have fire immunity, one of the biggest causes of death and being chipped away over time, which is going to happen if you're taking something like Essence of Fire, or, you know, getting shot by Essence of Earth, you're going to need to be able to heal constantly. So making a lot of Healthium would be critical in something like this if you can't run perks. You could Heart Mage, but percentage-based damage will always wreck you. If you can't really build ones because you can't kill, you can't earn money easily, you've always got... Right, it depends if the greed comes into this, because I wonder if going to specific locations shuts down everything. Like, go into the 250,000 gold, like, corner, near the Essence of Earth. A minimalist approach would be best. However, you know, choosing to eliminate places and things of doing, if you can get away with more minimalism in your attempts at this, the better. Like, later on, we can figure out what would be a blockage. If you can just try and eliminate all blockages at once, you might as well try. Especially if you've got the talent to run it. We did hear that loading in some areas is important. In an email from HS. Ooh. More people seek lies spread. What will you believe? True. Again, disinformation is rife, man. Hey, I'm not innocent, you know? I see the location of method, alteration, birth. Basically, the process to make the sun, but used in a way to give information to 5 different people that will eventually give us 5 different hints, along with Fury's 2 keys that help us resolve everything. 4 will remain, and the bearer shall promise to keep to themselves until all 5 are shared and the second key is found. I believe it's a her, Bolt. Are they eyes? I have no idea. I haven't... I think they are what we believe they are from what I read, but they didn't... When it said that in pink, if it says something in pink on this, that's HS. But I don't think it actually had, like, a quote about a decipher for those eyes. I know what you mean. Right. Email 3. Of course, I would have not gone through the trouble of contacting everyone if I wasn't trying to achieve something. Cryptic stuff. Off. Feel free to share this. I did find an answer to the eyes. Yes. It was something that was brought up in the past. Yes, you are correct. Inverted 3D planes are involved in a cipher. You see, eventually, at the very start, it was super cryptic, and the more they talk, the more they just naturally start talking normally and just revealing more and more. It's just human nature, isn't it? You know? When you know something, you kind of just end up... It's like an interrogation. You just spill the beans voluntarily. And it's weird. Like, it's just interesting how it works, even in this setting. It's not an interrogation, though, you know? It's just natural conversation. And they're in charge. They get all the agency and power. And they still reveal the information. Despite the fact they want to, you know, retain a certain amount of cryptic nature behind it. Inverted 3D planes are involved in the cipher, and it was, funnily enough, hinted at by one of the devs. Do I want fame? No, not really. I'm going to remain anonymous after this is revealed. In the next day or so. I'm surprised people are so quick to jump to conclusions purely because it's either an ego they can't handle or they refuse a truth. Pieces will be given, it's up to you. and your moral ethics now to play along. Nothing is stopping you from going behind my back and sharing the 5 pieces I may now give. 5 eyes remain open. Email 4. He received a secret. Email 5. Your cries are heard. The part in plays Fury holds 5 remnants to help this. Again, it's just referring to 5 remnants. Instead of calling it eyes, it was 5 eyes. Why now 5 remnants? He received an secret. There have been a few grammatical errors. Don't know. Then share this for all to see. Bearers hold all the steps. The eyes were instructions given, not messages. Steps provided. Steps unfolded. Steps understood. The key lies in wait. Hello, people of the Eye channel. I never properly introduced who I was, and I probably will not until this is all over. I've had fun on this journey. As it closes to an end, please rest. There is more to learn tomorrow. For now, weary eyes close, and yours should too. You see, I should have taken that advice earlier than I did. Yeah, title YXZ, referring to potentially the inverted plane, because, you know, 2D game, trying to look at something in 3D. The eyes. Tested knowledge is entertaining, to say the least. I welcome you as a believer if you listen to the forged answers. It does not take much. Time runs. Wait it out. Patience is a virtue after all.
Renegade.
Hey, Eternity Artist, thank you for follow. There is nothing to lose. Wait and breathe for a moment. All this talk about time, it just speaks to the meditation cube, doesn't it? And within the meditation cube is a bit of a 3D image of a... It's not a tesseract, is it? It's some sort of 3D slash wiry, diamondy triangle thingy. It's weird, man. And you meditate for it. And that would be... Would that be on a YXZ plane? Those messages exist in the background layer. The 3rd axis. Yeah, 3D cube and a 2D world, man. It's an interesting one. It's a diamond slice. Definitely looks 3D. Remember the alignments of the material, harder than steel. Well, you've got... Like, you have steel, you have hardened steel as well, and other steels that concentrated mana doesn't destroy, I think. What I thought, right? There's very few places in the game that void liquid won't destroy. One of those being the Wicker Man's little bit of wood at the bottom. Above the essence of fire. There is another bit, but I don't know exactly where it is. There's a few places that void liquid can't destroy. That could be referring to that, or it could be referring to something completely different. Meditate on higher dimensions. Like it's 4D and 3D world. Email address can be shared, which we saw at the very start of the discussion. 2 eyes given. Currently wait for Fury to finish their part. Feel free to share. Blah, blah, blah. Method location has been given. Yeah. Bacon slices. This is what was sent to HS. Nowhere to be. Enlighten me. I wish to perceive the alteration and conclude the blinded experimentation. The answer I will conceal until it is time for the reveal. Tell me all there is to know and how to make it show. 3 eyes shall remain open. The 4th is mine. I request the truth for this puzzle you define. And the response. Bearer of rhymes, hear my words. The answer you seek is not of these worlds. Bearer you are, given a chance. Do not throw this away without another glance. I sleep and wait, in silence and vain. 2 eyes given, 3 remain. I'm aware the eyes are set. Would you like me to share all the contents of all these 3 messages, or only your response? Whether or not this proves to be true, I would like to offer my thanks to you. You keep the riddle going. With the experiments, we're slowing. Good luck with your solution, and thank you for your contribution. Whatever feels right, share it to all. For now, I lie in wait for the rise or the fall. Isn't it Burns Week soon? Or something like that. In the UK. Or Scotland or whatever. I saw a poster at a Wetherspoons. Is that Eminem? Yeah, I mean, that's a beautiful exchange though, isn't it, you know? This is why anyone who's skeptical about this can go suck it, you know? Anyone who's like, well, this is like silly, mate. This is all a con and it's all a troll. Who gives a fuck? You know? Get the fuck out of our house then, you son of a bitch. You know? We've got no room for complaining, moaning sons of bitches when we're having this much fun, you know? The solution is an entire entry ticket to a poetry slam. You called yourself skeptic at the start. I'm a natural skeptic. However, I am a skeptic when there is reason and cause to be so. There is no reason and cause to be skeptic because it's not profitable to be so. Even if this is fake, there is still profit in it because it's fun, it's unique, it's interesting. It is a lead that you see until the end because of the legitimacy and the hard work that has been put into this. There is no cause for skepticism. Right here, right now. It's cool as fuck regardless, and I choose to believe. See? Hello. I have a few small questions. This was wrote to HS. Just out of curiosity. Apologies if you have already received a ton of emails. I'm just passionate about these glyphs. You mentioned something about the solution for the eyes involving inverted 3D planes. Could you elaborate on that? In one of your early emails, you said, an email, it does not contain, but a pathway. Are you implying that a solution to the eye glyphs will be a URL? Finally. In regards to your comment about the ideas that were forgotten, there have been many potential solutions buried and lost to time. It is exceedingly difficult to track a single one down. Could you provide slightly more specific information? Thank you for your time and patience. Received. The eye glyphs are not messages, they are instructions. A link is involved. Yes. Fucking Rickroll. If you wish to spoil a little riddle, I bet it's caused some confusion. I purposely jumbled around X, Y, and Z and inverted it. Is a play on how depth is calculated in the game. Reversed, a 3D plane was used to solve the message. Oh yes. In them, instructions were found. Thank you for asking. Lots of emails have been sent, and I'm working on replying to all. Like I spoke with Fury, this is just one last puzzle for the whole community to be involved in. And though the hostility and doubts, many people still reach out and ask, I answer. I hope you appreciate this final experience I give to bring closure to this long-awaited ending. It's a Rickroll. Probably is. Beak fan writing to HS. A lot of the hints have been about things to do in Noita, which would mean that there is some technique to acquire information in the game that we would need in order to solve the eye puzzle. Are the keys and eyes invented by you in order to point us to this technique, or are they parallel hints to something else? The keys are my own, the results are not. This is a destination that was made by the gods. The gods is a reference to the devs. Now, I would open this link, because this is a link. If you know XCQ, and where that takes you, you may understand. Although, you know, go www.youtube.com/, copy, paste, go, enjoy. Your curiosity is rewarded. To remain pure, one must rid their mind of alterations and unhealthy habits. Killing is a pretty unhealthy habit. Greed, an unhealthy habit. Pit boss cheesing, an unhealthy habit. I've said it. Come at me, bro. Too much good can be bad. Maybe you've got to do this on limited HP. Maybe you've got to do this with limited money. Limited everything. Again, this is the thing. We've got to limit everything we do while following certain instructions. And the only instructions we've really been given is that the salt is important, pacifist is important, fresh save file, the essences are important, right? That's roughly it. Kind of. Right? At a very basic level, bearing it all down to its bare bones. I'm worried how they kept saying last puzzle. The cauldron is unsolved, so clearly they may just, you know... I don't think you can read into every word, Fletcher. But you might be right. It might be troubling, but we'll see. Unless there is more information from the solution of this that informs us. No wands, no items, no murder, no perks. No sneezing, no looking funnily at the enemy, you know? No awkward glances, no awkwardness of any kind, you know? Clean up after yourself. That mess on the floor you made, go clean it up, you know, you dirty boy. Go clean your fucking room. Go read the 12 rules of life and then follow every single one and become a good boy. Is it even possible to never pick up gold? It is. It's very difficult in the first few floors, but it gets easier. The first floor's the worst because there's pixels of gold everywhere. Remain pure. Basically, the only way to remain pure is to offer limitations on the game, right? The more you pick up, the more chance you have of not being pure, right? It's a simple equation. The more impact you have on the world, the one thing I would say is, I have theorized before that certain levels of terrain destruction could technically be constituted as an impurity and also an offense to the gods. I really doubt, although it could still be a possibility and up for consideration, that you need to limit your digging to a certain amount and you can't destroy a certain amount of pixels, otherwise you fail. It's something to consider. We're going beyond the pale with that one, but if we're having trouble, we might need to consider that. Sacrifice, as mentioned before, is a belief. Don't actively seek it out on others. Peace is key. Pacifism. And just because you reach a goal does not mean you should give up on the morals and virtues you used to get there. The salt heals, but it cannot heal all wounds. The eyes are not a message but instructions for a pathway to reveal itself. The pathway is not that world, but one outside. Fuck knows what that means. Do mobs destroy a terrain cap? Oh, well, that's if it was actually a thing. Silent. How the game would work that one out is a difficult one. Because an enemy picks up an earthquake wand, are you screwed? Peace is key. It's complete. More peace perk. True. Although it does say, you know, too much of a good thing can be bad. Too much peace. Although you can basically make the outcome of a 33 orb ending via perks, right? You can get 4 or 5 more love perk and pretty much get the same outcome in a 33 orb peaceful ending, apart from the fact you have no Sampo anymore. Because when you have 4 more love perk, no one attacks you. That's like a 33 orb ending. I thank you for reaching out and asking. Glad to be able to host one of the last puzzles for the community, as we put a longer way in ending to this puzzle to rest. There, no rolls or accessories. Accessory, you can't add bling, basically, and you can't add... New save file, no rolls. That'll be dramatic and unfortunate if no sausage rolls, because I'm hungry. Bear? There's no bear. Ah, right, bear. a bear is one of the most sacred animal in Finnish mythology. You can't actually... You're not meant to draw bears for that reason. Ugh. It goes deeper. I have a question. I didn't Rusty. In both the early access trailer and the 1.0 launch trailer, they end it with an earthquake effect in the starting area above the mines in the early access. It's a different kind of curly ones. Yeah, that's the one from the second floor puzzle, isn't it? The walking stick, I think, if I remember correctly. Now, in one of the trailers of the game, actually, if you go to Steam, I think, and you look at their banner, there's a Noita holding that wand with a skull next to them, and some weird kind of stands next to a platform that apparently you can find in New Game Plus 3. That might be a key to something. Because that has always popped up now and again as a source of interest, shall we say. But it's something I always keep in mind. I actually got sent an email from a third party saying, good luck on the cauldron, with that exact image, like yesterday. So, you know. I think it was just, because I talk about it and people know I talk about it, someone's just listening and, you know, decided to get involved with all the intrigue, I think. I liked it, it was interesting. I had to make sure the email wasn't from HS. For a short time, people thought I was the 5th key holder, because I went into the I Discord in the Noita section and said, you know, can I just... anyone who's received an email from HS, can I DM you? I just need to ask you a question. And then people got all conspiratorial, and because I didn't respond. I just left, you know? And people were like, he came and asked a question and never came back. Is he the 5th key holder? You know? So, and I baited, because I could have gone in and said, nah, mate, it wasn't me. But I decided to let them linger in their own juice of conspiracy. So, unfortunately, the person I DM'd ended up coming along and saying, nah, mate, you know, it wasn't him. I wanted it to go on for a little longer and just have a bit of a chuckle, but it was, you know, it's fine. Sacrifice platform in the ice caverns, that's the exact one I'm talking about. Can't say I've seen that platform in the game. Apparently it's in New Game Plus 3. I'm wondering if it's conditional, because I've tried to find it and failed. I'm wondering if it's conditional, you can only find it under certain conditions. But bear no rolls. What does rolls mean, though? Well, rolls could be quests in the game, I suppose. It's the only thing I can think of. Roll of a king? But that's covered by accessories, is it not? Crowns and amulets gone with the fire burning bright. The fire burning bright is what we'll see when we start our new run after I've done all this. This will be explained, you'll see it. If you haven't started a new save file recently, this will make sense when we start our run. No rerolls! Ah. Huh. Rat King, Mushroom Hat, Peaceful Halo. Yeah, transformation would be impacting yourself, your mind. It's like picking up an orb, you know? You're either learning something or you're altering yourself, yeah. So, right, that might actually be really significant piece of information. It might be saying you are allowed perks, but no rolls. That's very specific information for them to know, though. Like, they must have done some testing, you know? If that is the case. Maybe Flash, maybe. Again, this is all just in good fun. We take it with a certain amount of seriousness, a certain pinch of salt, and just take it for what it is. And we love an adventure here at LST, and this offers an adventure of the most extreme kind, because what it is suggesting is a challenge run unlike any I've done before. It's not really talking about no hit, so it's out my, not comfort zone, because I don't do no gold runs, I don't do pacifist runs, mainly because I find them quite not easy, but they're kind of samey and similar. And once you've done one, you've kind of done it all, you know? But, you know, I don't fuck with it. So, it's not something I'm practiced in, but I know I could do it if I needed to. Hence why I'm excited, because I finally get to do a pacifist run. I get to actually use the skills I've never actually used recently or in a long while. Again, with purpose this time, you know? Yay. Progress will halt if solution will lead to more customization and loss of meaning. Loss of meaning, eh? Customization... mods. Loss of meaning? Maybe it's saying if you deviate from the path you were on, maybe you have to follow a certain path. Go down, go up. But if you go to, say, the ice caves, maybe frozen vault, it shuts you out. You've lost your way, you've lost your path, you've lost your meaning. The meaning is the adventure you are on. No editing once, oh no. Knowledge must be kept, and access must be open. Do not make the past obscure. What? You're making me think now. What? Knowledge must be kept, but we're not directly told to not pick up orbs. Access must be open. Oh, I have no idea on that one. Knowledge must be kept, so no streaming. Nah. There's no way for the game to know you're streaming. Right? Knowledge must be... Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, you could see it that way. Knowledge basically kept contained within itself without you taking it. Yeah. I'll knock that one. That's fine. I like that answer. I'll keep that one. I'll, for the moment, consider it an answer. The game would be considered a virus then. It would. And sleeping... the last 7 hours, has any second key been found? No. We're just discussing the emails. I think, literally, the entire shit would hit the fan if all information drops. Fury has also reached out to me, because you'll see an email from me that I sent, worrying that it wasn't going to be a inclusive community experience. I wanted everybody to have the chance to run with all information dropped at the exact same time. We could all run together. The great Noita together run alone. And I got a bit paranoid in my sleepless delusion. So I dropped HS a message saying, can we make sure that it's inclusive, that everyone can do it? And they kindly replied and said, yep. That's how I did it anyway. And then Fury dropped me a message because some other people had dropped some messages saying all other content creators are fucked, you know, apart from Fury. And Fury saw that, so he reached out to me very kindly and was like, look, bleh. I'm not going to go into it. But again, Fury's just a wonderful person, you know. We all know this. And I never felt otherwise, of course, you know. We love Fury like a pound of dope, you know. Well, you hit the nail on the head with that, because now that if Barrett is stonewalling us, that's basically what it is now. Why doesn't the fifth stonewalling bearing person just forward the email to someone else and, you know, absolve responsibility for it? But at least, you know, because way to pull a great dick move, you know, by doing that. Although, I'm not... Right, with the information we've got, we have enough to go on, right? We do not need Fury's 2 keys. We don't need the 5 keys. The information that's already been given is enough. HS has said so. I mean, your name is Let's Suffer Together, not Solo. Well, this is it. When I was actually talking about, you know, I felt a bit self-absorbed. That I was like, because I felt it was going to come across that oh no, Fury's going to get to make all the content, and I'm going to be left out in the cold, you know, and people are going to see it as just me wanting to, you know. But no, I want everybody to, you know, blah. Anyway, something has always been interesting is that the key drop from High Alchemist gains a very specific particle effect once charged. Does the Sampo gain the same thing? This is what I need to find out, because I have a theory it does. Although it kind of says in the writing that the Sampo sparkles with Blair, you know? The key is the same color as the Sampo, roughly, you know. I do watch rest for now. Nothing is being done without the second key. You say this. Nothing is being done without the second key. However, we're doing something. We're going to be doing something. We're going to be working from here. Fury's going to be working from here. No matter if we get any more information from anybody. We've been given enough. I kind of don't want to receive any more information, right? I kind of want this to die now. No more information from no one ever. And we just work with the information we've got. Because what they've said is more than enough for us to... And the entire community who wants to, who has the ability and who's worked hard at getting good at this game, to take that knowledge, use their knowledge in, you know, different ways and more beautiful ways. Some wrong, some right. Trial and error. The classic Noita experience. Instead of having... Like, the more information we have, the more spoilery it is. And we want it to be the most doable with the least spoilery, right? There's a very fine line here. However, the HS has decided a certain way. If they are the first person to have solved this, they have absolute right to do however they want. If they've solved it, they have two choices. Well, they have a few more choices. Shut up forever, not tell anybody anything, or... They can do something classy like this. Any other way, like if they just came out with it completely and spoiled it for everybody, no. That is not a way. No, you know? There's only a few ways of doing this right, and they've chosen one of the correct ways. It's one of the ways I would have liked to have done it. If, say I found it on stream, deleted VOD, and, you know, swore everyone to secrecy. Sentimental people will understand otherwise. It's just words on a screen. Did someone figure it out? How you doing, Keith? Apparently someone has figured it out. And they are being cryptic and giving us bits of cryptic information. We need to follow a bread trail of intrigue. If only the Discord agreed. The Discord... Right, no, you cannot boil it down to the Discord. There is a very small element of the Discord who are salty bitches who need to grow a sack and understand not everything is about them. Just because you wanted to be the king of everything and be put on a pedestal and solve it for yourself, life's not that fucking fair, mate, you know? Get with the program. Let's get this done, you know? Shut the fuck up. Stop being a negative little Nancy. I mean, I would have liked to have been the one that solved it, but, you know, you come to terms with these things, and you realise that I was never going to solve it in the first place, because my dumbass nature, and, you know, I don't really fucking discipline myself, and I'm a lazy cunt, you know, I don't even wake up on time, you know? If Discord agreed, it wouldn't be Discord. True. But no, it's always the small verbal section, right? And people are allowed to disagree, people are allowed to dissent. It's the way they do it sometimes. It's just constant, always. They feel like, it just feels like they never shut up. The same people just going again and again and again and again. And it's just useless, man. 3 babies. But again, the majority, right, when I joined the I group, nearly the majority of people and most people I met there were just lovely and wonderful, you know? Completely against my expectation. I had a wonderful time there, you know? Despite some of the moaning that was happening. People can moan. Again, it's free reign, you know? I can have an opinion about their moaning, though, so they can have an opinion about my opinion about them moaning, so. Has anyone considered we need to bring Nicolas Cage into this collab? Well, I mean, the Wicker Man and the bees, man, you know? We have bees in the game. Maybe in Finuous Bees we get Nicolas Cage in the Wicker Man. I'm probably gonna get a copy strike for that song. I've just realised. Ah! Hopefully I turned it off quick enough, but anyway. I just, like, again, very few songs on this playlist can be copy striked, and I keep on forgetting to delete them. Metal Gear Solid might be one of them. I know one of the Metal Gear songs is one of them, but I can't remember which one. Anyway, we shall move on. Nicolas Cage is the key bearer. A month or so in the making, I stumbled upon a method which was never really finished. It was attempted but led down the wrong path and thrown away. I thought I'd mess around with it and myself. 2 weeks ago, I sent a key piece to someone in hopes of getting something back, and didn't. I assumed they thought it was a hoax. 2 days ago, I sent a key to Fury. They acknowledged my findings and we spoke. Now the community is aware and the end draws near. All the riddles, clues, made on the spot, the methods and the eyes, had those already planned before the keys were sent. But had no clue how to hand out the knowledge. I believe people are quick to jump to conclusions. Whether it's a frail ego or disbelief, it's funny. The attempts and attacks are but in vain. You cannot stop progress. You cannot stop the secret from getting out. Well, remember when we raided McQueeb the other day, and he was like, "Oh, the eyes have been getting solved," and he jokingly mentioned how he's going to do a react video to Fury's content. You should bring more eyes to it. You know, all the eyes, the better, man. Get on it, McQueeb, if you're around. Do it, mate. Get with the program. Rest. Oh, it's just saying, you know, because we're all awake a lot. And, yes, go sleep, basically. Conversation 2. Dear Hidden Secrets person, I want to take this serious, but I'm not sure if I should. I hope you can give me a kind of information that can convince me that you actually solved the eyes. I will still look into the emails and try and solve the stuff with the information. But so far, I remain skeptical. You see, that's a great way of doing it, you know? Just nice, happy face, smiley face. Best regards. Not being a cunt about it, you know? The thing is, what, like, if it would be fun, like, I don't believe anyone outside of the I Discord would ever receive a key. It's why I wouldn't receive a key. I wasn't part of the I Discord, even though I do Cauldron stuff. I wasn't associated with the I Discord, and HS has worked entirely through the I Discord to pick people from. Despite the fact, you know, I put a bit of secret work in myself. But I wasn't in the right place at the right time, because I chose not to be there. And that's going to apply to everyone who wasn't there, or people who don't associate with the eyes or secrets of this game. Which there's plenty of content creators who don't, you know. I mean, some of the biggest content creators don't associate with the secrets of the game, really. I don't mind HS doing it like this. From Myling in chat, I don't think it's all fake, but I very much resent the Fifth Bearer for their choice and all this. It's a mixed blessing, because I kind of don't want 5 keys and Fury's 2 keys to come out. I think we've got enough, as I said before. I think we can do it with this. Having more information is just going to get us to the point faster. And me, as being a selfish content creator, want as much content as possible. So the slower this goes... Hey, you feel me, right? You know? Anyway, stay wary, eyes open. There is much to show. Revelation.
I hear that, renegade.
A kind monster, thank you for the follow, dude. There is much to show. Revelation is a process that takes a while. Your skepticism does not go unnoticed. You are not the only one. Dear Secrets, first off, thanks for the reply. So, if I understand this correctly, you have a solution split into multiple parts, if I can call them that. And you can spread them across the different emails you sent, specifically the eye holders, as they are being called. So by combining these different fragments, we should be able to solve together. I'm curious, how difficult would you say it is to solve the eyes in general? Or whether, how difficult would you rate the puzzle given if you have solved it? I assume the puzzle needs some specific approach. and then it would be reasonably easy to solve. But if someone was to look at it from the wrong angle, it becomes hard, as we can see based on the last 2 years of no solution. It was not done alone. I may come across... it may come as no surprise. Math is not my strong suit. I merely found the idea and brought it up between trusted ones. A pattern was found, and it led to the eyes being able to be read. The eyes are not messages, but instructions on a method. A method which was followed using location alteration seed birth. All of which the eyes explain. Admittedly, it was assumed to be a hoax, because it was very up to interpretation, but it worked. The creators do have a history of playing with their food, but it seemed more serious. The only difficult thing to solve was birth. Every step followed properly led to a crash, and figuring out why it didn't make sense. It was trial and error. It was not controlled, but it is replicatable. And with that, we left it there. The eyes themselves are solvable if you use the hints I gave already. If you wish to do it before the reveal. Thanks for being Thanks being of secrets. I'll try and solve it on my own. When will the reveal happen, so I know how much time I have? It's all up to the community. You all have 5 pieces. You could literally go ahead and do the method. All you need to do is a key when you glide the door. Oh, and you get use the key when you get to the guild door. Again, ask around. The bearer is currently there. They're refusing to play along. Important question. Is it okay to share this with the community? You may. Context. 5 eyes. I said the bearers hold the key away. It's promised hold. Yep. Spread the word. Bearers must be together. Once the key is done, the eyes will appear. Fury is 5 left if anything is missing. Yep. Your curiosity is rewarded. To remain pure, one must rid their mind of alterations on... That's a duplicate, isn't it? I don't think it's an exact duplicate. Sacrifice, as mentioned before, is a belief. Don't actively seek it out. The piece that we've read about. Just because you reach the goal, you should pick up on your morals and virtues you use. Yeah, that assault heals, but heals. Yeah, we read that. The save must be unaltered and new. The file must be, yeah. New save file pretty much burned into us at this point. Slurps wrote, if you are reading this HS, will a solution in the cipher for the eyes be released? Is the result worth it? What do we expect? Is there a chance you could let the other key know that there is a second part? If they are not aware, I think I might be close. I think it might be close to impossible if the other person is not aware Fury exists. These are just some concerns, questions. If someone can pass them on. If you're seeing this, get back to me. My email was already posted. Yes, the solution will be revealed for the cipher. A build-up cannot happen without the reveal. Heartfelt and sentimental people will understand, otherwise it's mere words on the screen. Yep, that's for Fury alone. They still hold the 5. Davey wrote, how do we assure the skeptics that there are better things to do than doubt for the sake of doubting? I believe you. You've proven yourself enough. I hope everyone can agree that idle hands are malicious. Again, you have everything you need to do first half prove if the steps do indeed work. All 5 people bear a step and have access. If they need any more info from me, get started there. That's my advice. I feel like we could, once we're through here, we could start on a potential first half kind of deal, you know? At least in principle. From what's been said. We might need to refine some of the more intricate parts and details, but hey, we've got the talent, we've got the skill, we've got the time, we've got the grit, determination. We've got a team here at LST, you know, ready to, you know, smack me around a little if I get out of line, get out of step. I just saying follow the steps without conflitation. I'm not sure what that means, mate. There are steps that can be followed, but we don't know them yet. But there have been cryptic words that have been uttered that we can interpret as to a certain way of running an initial setup. Kind of. We could be wrong, though, of course. Oh, like, don't overcomplicate it? Yeah, could do. I assume there is, within the keys, less complication. What do you guys understand by keys? Keys, 5 people who have received information. They can choose to give their information away, being keys to help us assist to unlock the true secret. I don't know if it's just me, but the fire thing, I've noticed. There isn't a torch when you start new games. Yeah, you need to start a new save file where there is a brazier. It's literally, it's pretty much confirmed at this point. They basically said, without, you know, equivocation, yes, you know, you need to start a new save file. You need to be utterly clean. Nothing, you know? There, like, basically, you need to be vertical when you start the game. No, horizontal, you know. It seems the fifth is not playing nice, narcissistic tendencies, a bit rude. Hey, Vice, is your patience limited to? We wonder. The first 4 are sat waiting. Your messages have been heard. Is it possible? If the fifth continues, the fifth eye can be shared. Of course, I'm a willing participant. To me, patience grows thin. Plans put to foil. Frustration boils deep. Not sure how to ponder. Secrets I give, many to spoil. Thinking about moving my words to another. Me share this to all they deserve to know. I won't leave this secret to rot in the unknown. At least if the fifth doesn't come along, they've kind of said we'll replace the fifth person who's obfuscating and being a bit of a cunt, you know. DJ Lights. Your thanks are heard, and I give mine too. This has been a fun journey. I look forward to the end. People united and a secret solved, mysteries found, and fortunes untold. I give you a riddle to share with the rest. Perhaps this will be the final golden crest. Right, this is a statement that really pissed me off, right? Final golden crest. If they're referring to the cape with that, say there is an unlock, right? At the end of the game, if with solving the eyes, if they give everyone a golden cape, I'm going to be the most fucking annoyed. The final golden crest. It could mean completely something different, but, you know, me being self-absorbed and all that. I run with a golden cape. You can't just give them out willy-nilly, you know? That's trademark infringement, man. Gold starter one would be fucking bitchin'. I think that's more likely, actually. Although, having any aesthetic, considering the nature of the crown and the amulet, I think it's actually more kind of poetic to get nothing. I think it's more in line with the secret itself, just to have the secret itself be fulfilling. And considering how it seems we have to get there in the first place, and throwing off the shackles of everything we've kind of come to want in the game, like knowledge, orbs, death, and destruction. Getting nothing? Because we always get something, you know? We get unlocks. We get the crown. We get the amulet. It's time to get nothing in return. Lay on your side. It looks thin. But stay below and everything becomes clear. What are they? That riddle is pissed off. Well, not pissed. It's been, you know, going around in the Noita Discord a little bit. I don't know. I ain't good at riddles. Put it that way. I'm not a riddle person. Not a math person, not a riddle person. ¿Qué pasa? Oh, stairs was close. A single red pixel on a crown. Stairs was not the answer, but it's on the right track. I still don't know. Anyway, as long as people understand that stairs is close and you know what the riddle is, go nuts, you know, and go to town. If you have an answer, feel free to share here or in the Noita Discord. Hi there. Someone edited docs, someone is griefing, this person is, no, who the real one. This is kind of just, you know, administration work. Everything is fine. The bearers hold the peace, just need to come forth. Everything I say, free to be used. Yeah. They are trigrams. They represent text instructions. This is the most clearest and unmitigated, you know, lack of cryptography, lack of cryptic language. They're trigrams, you know. That's what they are. That's a bit of rubbing it in the face because I, you know, said no. No. The thing is, I kind of subtly mocked the Noita Eye Discord for concentrating on trigrams a bit too much. I thought it was a big circle jerk. They got stuck on one idea of trigrams and couldn't let go of it, ever. I thought that was a big weakness of theirs. Turned out, trigrams wasn't their weakness, it was the way they were looking at the trigrams that was their weakness. They got kind of too stuck in one way of thinking about trigrams. The Illuminati is confirmed by HS. Ah, my own. Like Noita Together mod, all at once, not alone. I wanted to ask that I assume one way of beauty is solidarity and choice to witness. Or not. But this could go another. To try and shake this paranoia, that the way this all turns out is that all can run within the given info at the same time without a singular revealing it all on their own. The removal of choice from all of this, a potential loss of personal adventure and journey to uncover in unity or solidarity with the given instructions lingers in my head. A great Noita Together. Now put that. With the reveal, it is up to all to decide. It will not be kept shrouded from other eyes. It was never meant to be. The starting process was like this to shroud it a little and bring air to the mystery. Everyone can run together, or everyone can choose to be greedy. It all falls back to them. So the people with the we've been given it enough information to run. However, the 5 key holders and Fury could choose to either withhold, collude, publish. Fury has confirmed to me that he has no intention of doing anything other than the most community-related thing ever, you know? And, you know, it will be fair on every single person. All the information that is around will be, you know, if Fury has anything to do with it, you know, fair and published for everybody to have information all at the same time. You know, no one is going to get an unfair advantage in rocketing towards a solution to spoil it for others. So hopefully we'll all either have a chance to close our eyes or put in our worth into the adventure. Oh, esoteric eyes of the east and the west, and perhaps of the north and the south, I bid you reveal your projections scattered through the clouds that shift between worlds, a transcript or something more, mayhaps a projection or direction or dimension or intentions. A path walked true for so long a time. The alchemists had utilized the holy triangle to bind your visage to a state of mortal comprehension, but in vain. A false upcast to doom us to ignorance, or a truth that cannot yet be comprehended. O wise, permanent eyes, you are blessed and immutable. For the knowledge you bestow on your demure in bestowment. Eternal thanks be to ye.
I hear that, renegade.
Koala Catastrophe, thank you for the follow. Hints given to passer before. Ask for their side. I repeat no more. Apologies given, frustration understood. Another hint I give, grasp with all the brood. Etched into walls, patterns emerge. Wipe off the paint and let it all converge. In our own Discord, also, the Noita Discord seem to start doing this as well. You know the writings on the background? Yeah, Broomstick as well. The writings on the background, in 1.0, a lot of the backgrounds were updated in the game, including a lot of alchemic imagery, a lot of kind of wiggly lines and stuff, and a lot of all-seeing eye kind of, you know, 3 eyes, eyeballs, other interesting imagery. Like the imagery behind Call Me as well. Interesting stuff. Now, there is a wand that can wipe away certain things, that you can reveal other things. Might be possible a part of the clue. I have no idea. I have not heard any positive advancements made on that. But the thing is, the wand is not guaranteed, right? You cannot easily guarantee getting that wand. Is there a list of starter seeds somewhere to compare similarities? I personally do not know. If chat knows, yeah. Right. A plane made of a material harder than steel. A line, second and the fourth, like the hints described. Patterns made, etched into brick. All show this is a simple trick. Depth reversed and planes inverted. The avarice calls your name. Maybe the shape. Right. You know how at the very start of Fury's recent video, he showed the essence diamond, right? But it never got brought up again. The average diamond's roughly the same shape as those, right? But different. Maybe the average diamond isn't there to be wiped away with the broomstick. Maybe it's the actual shape of the diamond in the first place, or the essence holders. Like not like, you know how the diamonds that hold the essences are kind of like little marks on them, and people have tried to decipher those little marks. Maybe it's just such as simple as the actual shape of the thing in the first place. Why does Uko bleed diamonds? Because he's fucking badass, that's why, mate, you know? You've got to make ambrosia somehow, you know? Yeah. Although I personally would not make that sacrifice. Your thanks are heard, and I give mine too. This has been a fun journey and fun to the end. People united and a secret solved, mysteries found, and fortunes untold. I give you a riddle to share with the rest. Perhaps this... Oh, lay on your side. It looks thin, but... great knower of the unknown. We solve the riddle... we solve the riddles that you have sown. Exhilarating as this may be, I will not be the one that holds the key. I humbly participate in the grandest of stages, helping to solve a great riddle of the ages. Lay on your side. It looks thin, but stay below, and everything becomes clear. What are they? Could they be stairs? A staircase, when seen from the side, may look thin. However, once below it, the steps are revealed. Thank you so much. It's incredible that you went out of your way to allow for a community to come together for a grand finale of this puzzle, instead of just giving us the answer outright. I am not at all the person that will solve this, but I'm so happy to be part of this nonetheless. And I hope a lot of other people are as well, you know? I personally am. It is not stairs. No. Quite close. A similar in design, though. Ladders. Pan 5 was interesting. No, not DNA. I mean, the thing is, stairs aren't ladders, and I went to ladders, and then I thought of DNA because of ladders, which, no. Anyway, Pan 5 was interesting, but it was not that. I strongly recommend not going back to it. Your thanks were heard in the warm heart. I have nothing but the greatest of support. Here's to a wonderful community. A sacrifice of oneself and the pursuit of knowledge is the highest tribute of the gods. I have one small query, which may come to light within time. This is something I'm really interested in as well. I know Preskip's been interested in this as well. This image. Oh, though I ask it now, regardless, as my curiosity has piqued, does the desert symbols lead to your solution? Assuming you are of the channel, you might be familiar with the symbols and whether they were intended as a hint to the eye puzzle, or completely unrelated. I have attached an image of the desert symbols. 3 eyes point, a diamond shows, 3 planes point to answers told. What you seek is right in front of you. Preskip was right. Preskip pointed to this about 6 months ago, at least. Like, literally, he was convinced it's a key. Of some sort, anyway. Oh. What creatures have 3 eyes? Could not say, personally. Oh. And that is the end for now, my friends. So, for anyone who's joined us on YouTube, hey, I'll answer some questions from chat or catch up with chat, and then in the YouTube video in about 5-10 minutes. So everyone will stick around, you know. That's all the emails. And, whew, what a ride. Again, they've put in a lot of work. They put in a lot of effort and time. They obviously have a lot of love for the community. And the people in it, you know. To go to this level of detail and care. To be so unspecific, yet specific in ways. It's been beautiful. One, I personally thank HS for, you know, everything. It means a lot, really, you know? Because it could have gone so many other ways, and a lot of those ways aren't good, you know? So, big thumbs up. I know a lot of people out there, nearly everybody, and the majority of people out there, you know, have nothing but love and respect for what you're doing. So, big thank you, HS. We'll get there. Do not despair. Do not worry. Even if not all goes to plan exactly how you envisioned it, there are good people out there, you know, who will work hard, just as you've worked hard. Now that you've helped us open our eye a little bit. A little bit more. Woo! So, having seen all that chat, and from what we've already discussed, we believe we know we have to start a new save file. What kind of limitations do you think I will need to impose on a run? Going down, right, my general plan. Going down to Colmy, grabbing Sampo, going Essence of Earth, and then perhaps trying to figure out a specific path within that. When I get to Essence of Earth, what I expect to see, if I have done it right, is the Sampo glowing ever so slightly differently. But can I kill Colmy? This is up for debate. It would be best not to. Google Docs needs a dark mode, my eyes! Yeah, it's kind of kept me awake, all the bright lights, so... Since it's clear, pacifism is key. No perks. Probably can't kill Colmy. It would be an impurity to kill Colmy. Colmy did nothing wrong, right? You know. In fact, Colmy might be working on the Sampo to make what we're doing possible. Have you ever thought about that? 3 planes could imply 33 orbs as well. Could it all, like, 33 orbs could also involve Freemasonry, because the 33 degrees of knowledge or whatever, you know, that they all do. Look into Freemasonry. The fact they use 33 orbs in this game, it's very Freemasonry, isn't it, you know? Anyway, cheers, guys. That was an endurance, you know? My throat did suffer quite a substantial amount during that, but it was worth it. You know, I'm glad I put in the time and effort to go through all that. Not only for my pleasure and my understanding, but hopefully all of chat's. All of you on YouTube, if you are watching on YouTube right now, highly appreciate you sticking around to the end. Hope you've learned a hell of a lot. Hope you enjoy everything the Noita community has to offer in terms of, you know, not only content, but camaraderie, adventure, knowledge, you know. And, in this sense, a little bit of mystery. But until next time, my friends, take it easy, take care. I will catch up with you on the next video or next stream. You've always got the subscribe button, join button, like every button, smash buttons around on YouTube and you'll be fine. You know, I'll catch up with you later, guys. Take it easy. Much love. Peace.